Welcome, everybody. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas, and it is Saturday Night Alive for you, the Global Peace Tribe. We have an amazing show tonight. I kind of feel like Ed Sullivan. I don't know how many of you might remember him, but it's kind of like we've become the Ed Sullivan show for our generation. We got a really, really big show for you tonight. And we do. We have so many amazing presenters. I'm just honored with each person that you're going to meet tonight. It's really Deborah Juice to put today's show together, and she did an amazing job. But I'll let her tell you all about them in a few minutes. I want to welcome those of you watching us in our Zoom room. We just had our early Zoom room show, and it was wonderful. Really being able to go deep a little bit with the twin rays, Shakina and Sananda. But I also want to acknowledge all of you watching on Facebook and on YouTube. And I want to make an invitation. Come on into our Zoom room. Come join us. You know, by coming into the Zoom room, it's easier for you to chat with us, to chat with the presenters. And of course, by registering, we get your email address, and then you get all these wonderful announcements from us. So go to www.globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com. Right now, while I'm talking to you, go there and register. It only takes a minute, and it really is great because we are building an amazing community. This is our 59th show, and our community continues to grow and build from all over the world. A lot of you are watching us on Unify, and what's great is that a lot of you are coming and watching us maybe on the replay or live from South America, Australia, New Zealand, all different parts of the world. It's really exciting. And in addition to what we're doing with Saturday Night Alive, every Saturday night, we're beginning to do more and more special events. We've got a big event coming up with Cornflower and Kristen Hoffman, which you'll hear about. We're doing our first Global Peace Tribe retreats live, like in person, like where we can touch each other. We're going to have a retreat in the Bay Area in July, in Asheville, North Carolina, and then in Maui at a beautiful retreat site in September. So you want to know about all these things that we're up to. So please register globalpeacetribe.com and come and join us. I also want to thank all of our broadcast partners, Unify, the Sign Network, Light Touch. And speaking of Light Touch, I really want to thank our executive producer, Jay Mayer, our senior producer, Jan Kaplan, for all that they do. A lot of the videos you're going to see tonight were created by Jay and Jan. And we also have a special sponsor. He's actually not able to join us live, but you're going to be able to see some of his videos. And so I want to thank Richard Parisi. And you're going to hear a couple of videos about the amazing work that Richard's doing. But thank you, Richard, for sponsoring tonight's show. We're really grateful for that. And to tell you all about this amazing show, I get to turn it over to my producing partner, my co-host, Deborah Juice.
Thank you, Scott, and welcome everyone to now what is our 59th show that we have produced every Saturday night since the lockdown in April 2020 during these highly challenging but very evolutionary times. We're now in the second month of season 5, Time to Thrive, April through June, and we have 7 more amazing shows for you, and Scott and I have agreed to produce another season. Season 6, an incredible mix of appreciating the past and visioning the future. And again, we thank you so much for your donations when you register. It really makes a big difference for us to continue to produce these shows every week. And thank you for all the people that donate to the GoFundMe. If somehow you're on our broadcast partners and you want to ping us some green love with the GoFundMe, we appreciate that very much. It makes a big difference. And yes, as Scott said, this is going to be another amazing show. Sacred Magic, the integration of the divine masculine and feminine. Isn't this the time for that? In our past shows, we have honored the emergence, the power, and the presence of the divine feminine that's been currently happening in our new world for a while now. Our last show was Feminine Leadership's Changing Our World, and that is certainly true as women are becoming community and political leaders, entrepreneurs, CEO, and they are grounding the divine feminine principle into societies and into our world. But for this show, we want to honor the divine masculine, who is also on the evolutionary path of healing, coming into balance, and also activating the creation of the new world. So the sacred magic is achieved when the divine feminine and masculine in their full exalted power come together and integrate deeply together in complete unity and harmony within their relationships, within society, and within their own beings, the feminine and masculine within yourself. So tonight we honor all those relationships, whether it's a romantic relationship, a collaborative relationship, it's sister-brother, it's father-daughter, and so on. There's a vast potential that's available for incredibly deep experience and also the opportunity to mega manifest together and create incredible lives and new opportunities in our new world. Also, I want to honor that tomorrow is Mother's Day, and that is another aspect of the divine feminine we want to honor. And that is Mother's Day could be for the masculine as well, that are playing those mothering roles in their lives if they're raising children as well. So I want to honor all the mother in all of us in this incredible sacred day when our United States honors the mother and the divine principle. So now we're going to meet the incredible group of male and female experts who will share insights on this potent theme. First of all, we are so happy to have back again Katie and Gay Hendricks. They have been pioneers in the field of body intelligence and relationship transformation for over 40 years, and they've mastered ways to translate the power, concepts, and the life skills where people can discover their own body intelligence and easily integrate life-changing skills. Welcome, Gay and Katie Hendricks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Thanks, Scott.
And we're so happy to have a definite sacred masculine in Matthew Fox. He is the author, theologian, and activist priest who's been calling people to spirit and consciousness into the creation spirituality lineage for over 50 years. He's written over 38 books, has ignited an international movement to awaken people to be mystics, prophets, and contemplative art activists, and that honor and defend the earth and work for justice. Thank you for joining us, Matthew. And we're happy to have Ariel Ford. She's a leading personality in the personal growth and spirituality movement for the past 30 years. She's also a gifted writer and the author of 11 books, including the international bestseller, The Soulmate Secret, Manifest the Love of Your Life Within the Law of Attraction. Welcome, Ariel. And we're so happy to have Shakina and Sananda, who are founders of Twin Ray, and they're here to bring forth wisdom teachings of ancient spiritual science that prepares the body to harness enlightenment and liberation.
Blessings, Deborah. Thank you, Scott.
Blessings. And very happy to have Destin Garrick, who's a globally recognized leading voice in masculinity, sexuality, and personal empowerment. He's the founder and CEO of the Evolved Masculine, which is a pioneering coaching and training company for men. He is also the author of a best-selling book, The Evolved Masculine, Be the Man the World Needs and the One She Craves. Welcome, Destin. And we've got great music. We have back with us again a duo, which is totally appropriate. Honey of the Heart, incredible duo, Justin Anchetta and Marin Metke. They weave soaring harmonies and hypnotic rhythms into beautiful grooves for dancing, rejoicing, and bliss. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
And we also have another duo, Maria Stark and Fajun. They are multi-instrumentalists. Maria is a multimedia enchantress. They are the carrier of myth, mystery, and medicine songs and create ceremony in their music. And we're also going to have an incredible transmission from Marshall Davis Jones. He's a voice artist, coach, founder at Mind Body Speak, and he is celebrated for his spoken word and artistry. and his work is exploding around the world. Plus, we're going to have a dance of the sacred masculine and feminine, which is going to be really beautiful. And that's going to be towards the end. So be sure to stay towards the end. And I want to honor again our sponsor, which is Richard, the Grateful Bear. He has produced the God Cards for Men, which is an incredible deck of empowerment cards that embody 55 divine masculine archetypes. And it serves to be a catalyst to understand and embody the divine masculine principles. And I'm going to post his website in the chat room, and we're going to share a lot more about that later, but totally in alignment with this show. And tonight, for our GoFundMe nonprofit organization to support, we are going to ask for support for our Saturday Night Alive to create the season 6, which is going to be July through September, an incredible mix of appreciating the past and visioning the future. So all your green love that will come to us will be so appreciated and utilized to continue to bring you these incredible shows that we do each week. We're going to be posting the link for the GoFundMe in the chat room, but you can always go to the GoFundMe website and type in Global Peace Tribe, and you'll find our GoFundMe there. So thank you so much, all the presenters, for being with us. It's going to be an incredible show. And we are going to start like we usually do with music to raise the vibration and the frequency into the frequency of love, which is what this show is all about.
And that means that it's time for Honey of the Heart. We had them on once before, and we loved their music. And I want to acknowledge you're only seeing 2 of them. They're really 3. They also have this wonderful feral child. And so we might get a feral child cameo appearance, we'll see. But Honey of the Heart are wonderful. And just a little bit about them. They provide, and you can experience it, this ambrosial mix of different musical interpretations. And they've been influenced by folk, soul, jazz, even world flamenco. And they put it all together in a really beautiful and organic manner. They are Justin and Marin, and their style is described as folk, soul, world, roots, fusion with rich harmonies and powerful vocals. They are a beautiful example of how the divine masculine and divine feminine come together to create something very beautiful. So welcome, Justin and Marin, and thank you for being with us.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott, for the introduction. And this next song is called Common Ground. And this is one of our prayer tunes out there to find common ground with our peoples.
You may hear a Pablo Neruda quote in the midst, one of my favorites of his, which is, "Love is a mystery of water and a star." And you'll definitely hear reference to the masculine and the feminine in this as well. Here we go.
me to have sight, open wide to the water beyond wrong and right. Help me feel we, love is a mystery, a water and a star coming right through me. Celebrate our differences, find a common ground. Celebrate our differences, find a common ground. Celebrate our differences, find a common ground. Celebrate our differences. Balsams forming wine about my mind, an echo in time a print left behind. Ink lines formed a rhyme, read another time. Let us please be kind as history rewrites. Celebrate our differences, find a common ground. Celebrate our differences, find a common ground. Celebrate our differences, find a common ground. Celebrate our differences. Eyes and teeth like gems in stone. We are precious, timeless gold. A flame to breathe, carbon release, and ashes flying. Flame to breathe, carbon release, and ashes flying. Make the lines bleed fast, traces of the past. Make these dark lines last. From now to the past is of the past. Oh, make these dark lines last. Oh, healing the darkness, darkness to light. From now to the past, from now to the past. Oh, from now to the past. Oh, from now to the past. Moon in the west sky, let me deep dive. Feel the strength in the power of the left side. There's no nosotros, love's mysterious, like water and a star coming right through us.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Wow.
Having Scott and everyone at Saturday Night Live.
Well, now, before you go away, I just want to let everybody know they're going to come back. We get a second song from them in a little bit. But to learn all about them, go to their website, which is their name, honeyoftheheart.com. And I understand you guys release one new record every month. So you've got a new one you just released a couple of weeks ago called Roll Down the Coast. And you're going to be doing some live shows pretty soon again, yeah?
That's the hope. Yeah. And actually, I think around 7:42, we'll be back on again and we'll do Roll Down the Coast for you guys here as well.
Fantastic. Great. All right. Well, we will see you at 7:42 or whatever time it ends up being. And to introduce our next presenter, here's Deborah.
Thank you, Scott. And I just want to acknowledge the beautiful demonstration of sacred masculine and feminine in that music. That really said it all and definitely raised us to the high vibration to start the show. So thank you so much, both of you. It was beautiful. And I'm so happy to start our show with an incredible speaker who's been a leading personality in the personal growth and contemporary spirituality movement for the past 30 years. She is celebrated love and relationship expert. She's an author and a gifted writer. She's authored 11 books, including her latest, which is Turn Your Mate into Your Soulmate. And she has an international bestseller, The Soulmate Secret, Manifest the Love of Your Life with the Law of Attraction. So she's been around the block with this. And from what I hear from you, really the bottom line is love when you get down to it. And that's what she is about. So Ariel, so happy to have you on our show and begin our show with your wisdom. So here you are to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah, and thank you, Scott. I'm buzzing from the music and the high frequency you guys brought in. This is just so much fun. So I help people find love, keep love, and be love. And most of my work is around helping singles manifest a soulmate. And I find that soulmate is just one of those words that everybody has a different definition of. So I thought I'd start with what my definition is, because I believe a soulmate is first and foremost somebody you can completely be yourself with, somebody with whom you share unconditional love. And when you look into their eyes, you have the experience of being home. So Deborah and Scott, you guys are definitely soulmate producer friends. And the really good news that I have for all the singles who are listening is that you all already have many, many soulmates in your life. It could be your children, your parents, your siblings, your coworkers, your cats, your dogs, your neighbors, your friends, because there is no shortage of love in the world. Just like we all have enough air to breathe and water to drink, we all have enough love. And one of my favorite lines from A Course in Miracles, which I find very useful, is the only thing that can be lacking in any situation is that which you are not giving. So if you're in a place where you think you're having a love deficit, maybe it's time to become a love philanthropist, to give more love to yourself and to everybody around you. And one of the soulmate manifestation processes I like to share with people is something that I call the love gratitude process. And it's super easy, and we can all do it together right now. All you need to do is think about 5 to 10 people that are already in your life that you know love you, that you love. And if you want to write them down, you can write them down. But think about 5 to 10 people that they're already in your life. They already love you. On some level, they are a soulmate. You can completely be yourself with them. You have unconditional love. And when you look into their eyes, you have the feeling of home. And then close your eyes for a second. Just take a moment, put your hands over your heart, close your eyes, and just feel in your heart the abundance of love you already have. Just really open up and receive and accept all the love you already have. And as you do that, if what you're up to is wanting to have a romantic soulmate, it actually makes your heart more magnetic to pulling in a romantic soulmate. I call it the love gratitude process. And it's something that you can do every single day, before meditation, during meditation. I do mine when I'm in the bathtub. Don't know why, it just works for me that way. And one of the things that comes up in my work all the time is I work mostly with women, and they all want to have the Hollywood cute meet, the romantic comedy, organic, they're walking across the street, they trip, Richard Gere catches them, they fall madly in love and live happily ever after. If you've seen Pretty Woman or Love Actually or The Wedding Planner, that's what they're all looking for. Because what they are seeking is they want to go on nature's greatest drug high. I think you know what I'm talking about. Falling in love is the world's greatest drug. And it really is a drug. Your brain is like giving off all these amazing chemicals, dopamine and oxytocin and adrenaline, and it feels great. The only problem is it isn't really love. It's just nature's trick to get us to procreate. Because after that drug high wears off, which it does in 6 months to 3 years, depending on how lucky you are, then you're left with a real human being, and you have to get to the adult, emotional, mature love part. And I just want to say one more thing about that. I call the being in love part the socially acceptable form of insanity, because it's really fun, but it doesn't last. So I decided one day to sit down and talk to myself and tell myself the truth, like, what is love? And I'm going to read you something that I wrote. I call it The Truth About Love. Love is an art, and you are the artist. Love is much more than a feeling. Love is a choice. Love is a connection. Love is a decision. Love is a practice. And most importantly, love is a behavior. Love is the juiciest part of life. Love opens our hearts, expands our world, and brings a smile to our lips. For love, we make commitments and agreements to share our life with another in both good times and bad. When we pledge our love to another, we say to them, I will love you on your good days and your bad days. I will be your safe place to land. I will share with you my attention, affection, and appreciation. With you, I will become a better woman. With me, you will become a better man. I will be your best friend, lover, partner, and protector. And if things don't work out, I won't sell you out. Love is not all things shiny and sparkling, although those are nice for a special day, but they're not really ultimately what love is all about. Love is as much about giving as it is about receiving. And it's also being willing to forgive. And let's not forget, love is also about truth-telling. Love is God. Love is who we are. Love is why we're here. And in the end, love is an art, and you are the artist. And how, where, when you express, share, and shower your love onto the world, this will be your legacy and your masterpiece. So I know all of you know this and all of you get it, but in the times that we're living in, I think it's good to be reminded what love really is. And I just want to end with my favorite quote by Sam Keen. And Sam says, we come to love not to find a perfect person, but to learn to love an imperfect person perfectly. Thank you.
Oh, so wonderful to have you on our show, Ariel. I've been reading your books and aware of you for so long, and it's really wonderful to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And, all we get is a little homeopathic dose of your medicine, but we always want to let people know how they can get more of your medicine. And so I want to direct people to a couple things. Her website, and it's her name, Ariel Ford, spelled A-R-I-E-L-L-E, 2 L's, A-R-I-E-L-L-E, Ford, Ford.com. And she's got a lot going on. She's written, and we really want to encourage people, if you take a look here, she offers a wonderful free ebook. It's a dating guide. And so download that for sure. So again, go to the website, register, that way she can find you. And also I want to acknowledge that she has a new program that she's launching. Tell us a little bit about the Manifest Your Soulmate program.
I'm going to be at the Art of Living Center in Boone, North Carolina at the end of September, doing my first live and in-person event for God knows how long. It'll be so nice to actually be in a room and share molecules with other humans again. It's just been pretty insane being locked down, but I'll be in North Carolina then. And other than that, I'm super easy to find. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and I just feel so blessed and honored that I get to spend my life talking about love.
We are blessed when we find our Dharma. And here it is. This is the Manifest Your Soulmate event that she's going to be doing. And I'm going to real quickly show where you can register or get more information about that. If you go to aolrc.org/soulmate, aolrc.org/soulmate. And of course, Deborah is putting all these links in the chat box, as Deborah always does such a wonderful job with that. So thank you, Deborah. Ariel, thank you so much. And stick around because we've got some really fun stuff happening. And to tell us about what's next, here is Deborah.
Thank you, Scott. We wanted to honor our sponsor right off the bat because he has provided an incredible tool for the Divine Masculine. And these are the God cards. Richard Parisi, Grateful Bear, is a licensed spiritual practitioner of Agape. And he went through a life-threatening health challenge and his own process of really coming to terms with his masculine and really getting to a place of healing those parts of himself that were not in high alignment. Maybe you could even call them toxic, or that were part of the patriarchy that's been part of what's oppressed our society. And as he went through his spiritual evolution and studied with a lot of high-level teachers, including Native Americans and other people, he realized that it was really time for the sacred masculine to come to an evolution and really heal itself and step up in a whole new way. And he created this divination tool, the God cards, which are 55 cards of beautiful art that have all the archetypes of the sacred masculine. The ones to evolve to, and then the highly evolved ones, and even the toxic ones that you want to get beyond. So it's all laid out so the men could have their tool. Now there's a lot out there for the feminine. The feminine knows how to take care of itself and give itself all kinds of teaching and tools. And there's not a lot out for the masculine, but hopefully more and more is coming. But this is one tool that can help. And yes, the sacred masculine Scott is showing a box of the God cards. And they're really beautiful, incredible art. And we've got a video that will share more about it that we'd like to show.
All right.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the show highlighting Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. My name is Richard the Grateful Bear, and I've devoted my life's purpose to this work. Here's why. I was raised Catholic in the post-World War II era of patriarchy, big boys don't cry, only sissies run from a fight, and I learned that girls were weaker, manipulative objects of evil desires. I was always trying to get a leg up in youth sports, work, school, dating, always vying to be the alpha male because that's what a real man is supposed to be. So one fine day, on my constant quest for leverage and power, I wandered into a witchcraft store. There was a sign that read beginning Wicca classes. Before I could ask, the storekeeper eyed me and said, "What is it that you seek?" With great arrogance, I demanded dominate in a Hollywood career, hot girlfriends, millions of dollars. She interrupted me and invited me to the beginning Wicca class where I would learn what real power was all about. I showed up all full of myself and sat in a class full of girls. I thought to myself, I must be in the right place. No guys to compete with in here. Well, it wasn't long that I had forgotten all about my toxic ambitions. I found myself humbled in awe of the divine feminine power and magnificence of the goddess. The following 6-year initiation as a priest in that goddess-based mystery school forever galvanized my relationship with God as both mother and father. With transformed values and morals, I was miraculously offered an executive position at a major Hollywood studio. Wealth, health, and love were abundant for many years. However, I was still foolishly boyish at taking care of myself. I thought I was invincible. Cigarettes, sugar pops, coffee, late nights, high stress of corporate America, no concern to me. I am a high priest of Wicca. Then the diagnosis came. Cancer. turned my life upside down, testing my faith and leading to the reconciliation of a 46-year-old boy who thought he was a man. During a 5-year healing sabbatical from the toxic environment of Hollywood, I was invited into several men's initiation programs where I grew up into conscious manhood. My life's purpose was finally revealed. I am Grateful Bear. I bring heaven to earth by empowering the heart, mind, body, and soul of divine masculine and feminine in everyone I know. And the God Cards for Men project was born. Now I live with purpose and clarity and abundance while helping individuals and organizations accelerate into their divine consciousness of service and power. That is why I'm here on the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine program. I am Grateful Bear, and I'm here to serve.
Beautiful. Just
Beautiful.
We're going to hear more from Grateful Bear by another video a little bit later on and learn more about the cards. But he sent me a deck, and they're gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. You'll see them in a little bit. And so, of course, I did that. Okay, well, which card will I pull? And I thought maybe I get the Entrepreneur or the Christ card. Of course, I got the Fool. That's me. You know what? It's ironic, but I've actually always loved the Fool card. So here I am. He's the Grateful Bear. I'm your gentle fool. Hey, you know, one of the things that we do every now is, and this is a really wonderful testament to Jay Mayer, is we have the Wisdom Jewels section of the show where we show quotes from various authors and speakers about the topic of the day. And tonight, we actually gonna have 2 Wisdom Jewel videos. And Jay has done a great job putting them together. Here's the first one, which is all about some quotes on tonight's theme. Let's take a look.
Thank you, Jay. That was beautiful and definitely highlights what this show is about. Appreciate that, Jay, very much. And now I get to introduce a couple that really highlights and exemplifies very evolved divine feminine and sacred masculine relationship. Shakina and Sananda, who are founders of Twin Ray. They are here to bring forth wisdom teachings of the ancient spiritual science that prepares the physical body to harness enlightenment and liberation. And they are totally beautiful examples of what an expanded and evolved divine feminine, divine masculine relationship can be in this new world that we are evolving now. They've been through so much together, many, many lifetimes, and have united in this lifetime at the highest form that's possible on this planet, I think. They have a lot to share about how we can evolve our relationships. We're so happy to have you back. They were in the pre-show and warmed us up, and we're so happy to have you back now. Welcome, Shakina and Sananda.
Thank you, beloved Deborah, and blessings Holy Night Alive family. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. We want to speak into the magic of the divine masculine and feminine and that sacred union. And we want to really start from the understanding of what is sacred. You know, for there to be a union, what is sacred?
So when we talk about what is sacred, we talked a little bit about this originally when we had the pre-show, but it's really about understanding a deeper presentation of the sacred universe within you, within the heart, within the entirety of one's life, and thus one's experience. So a sacred union is not necessarily just about two people coming together, being in love and finding that connection. It is so much deeper than that. And through that deepening, everything in life becomes sacred. Every element of life is sacred. Every moment that life is lived is sacred, whether or not it feels comfortable or not.
Yeah, exactly. Because that merging of the divine masculine and feminine first happens within yourself. It's not something that is external. It's something that manifests externally once it's an integration within. And so our whole mission really is to inspire and teach beautiful beings such as yourself to really integrate the trueness of your being, which is both masculine and feminine. Because when you integrate that feminine and masculine presence and principle, you live life in a different way. You don't chase life, you attract life. And everything, as we shared earlier, becomes sacred. It becomes a sacred extension. But the union of the masculine and feminine, the purpose of that, the higher purpose of that, and the higher power of that is to really transform the mundane to make it magical. And so this whole show is about the magic of divine unions, or the magic of the divine masculine and feminine. There's so much that happens when you first take that step within yourself, and you make a commitment to love yourself unconditionally, no matter what comes up, no matter what process that you're going through. When you love yourself unconditionally, it can be most terrifying, but it also can be the most freeing. And when you do that, you see that the universe starts reflecting all the opportunities where you have maybe judgments or perceptions or conditions or programs of what isn't sacred. And so all these sort of conditions start being dismantled once you become fearless enough to accept it with love. And so when you start doing that first within, then there comes a time where you may attract that love into your life in sacred union.
And what is so important to understand is that through sacred union, your devotion is to the beloved first, and the beloved is God.
Yes, exactly. This is a very important. Divine union isn't just about a chemistry of romantic feelings. It's an offering. Your life becomes an offering. Your relationship becomes an offering to the highest power, the highest expression of love. That is your true self. That is the nature of God.
Which means that every action that is done in honor of the sacred Holy Mother, Holy Father principle of creation. Every thought, every deed, every word exchanged is an offering to that principle and to that holy nature.
Now, how do you get there? because this sounds like a real amazing concept, but how do you make that a reality? Well, understanding the principles, the main principles of the divine feminine and masculine. The main principle of the divine feminine is trusting the divine masculine. And the main principle of the divine masculine is surrendering to the divine feminine. And so when you surrender, first within yourself, this is a practice first within, internally, and then it becomes a practice within relationship. And what is that surrender? It's surrendering the small self. It's surrendering the glitches or the wobbles known as the triggers. It's surrendering
Treasures.
those triggers that can alchemize into treasures. But you have to surrender all that. Surrendering the lower self, the self that feels small and separate. And you surrender that by being vulnerable, by being open, by being truthfully authentic and radically honest with yourself in every way, in every moment. We love to play a game, and this is the game that we'll speak to into a moment to inspire each one of you, whether you're in relationship or not. But this principle of trust is when you understand that it's safe to feel fear. And you can trust that fear, no matter if it's fear within relationship, no matter it's fear in life circumstances. But
that's not the game we play, though.
But it's to trust that whatever's showing up for you, whoever's reflecting to you, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in life experience, to trust that that's exactly what you need to work on in that moment. That's exactly what you need to receive. That's exactly what you need to experience.
Because the universe never really gives or takes anything from you. All the universe can really do is show you. That's all it can ever really do. Because it is merely a reflection of what is internal within you that is needing to be brought back into wholeness, that is needing to return back to the all, so that it can return to spirit completely. And that requires a full and complete surrendering of the small self, of the lower mind, to raise into the ascension of the higher experience of ease and grace within this reality that actually dissolves itself completely from the perception of separation into unity.
And how do you do that? Is by not identifying with that lower self, becoming more of that witness and that presence of who is observing the mind, who's observing the actions, who's observing. And when you come from that observer perspective, you can make a different choice. When you can make a different choice, you no longer play out those tendencies, those conditional tendencies. And so the game that we wanted to speak about is like, just imagine that if every single aspect of life you truly made sacred, whether it be washing the dishes, whether it be dropping the kids off at school, or whether it be going to do the groceries, no matter what you did, imagine if you could make that sacred. And that's exactly what happens when you truly fall in love with spirits, when you truly see life as a gift, when you truly understand the miracle that you've been blessed with. Each one of you that are here right now, you've chosen to incarnate. This is a great celebration, even though that there may be chaos, but chaos is just the redirection of the cosmos having a higher order. It's really what it is. Chaos and cosmos are one and the same thing. And so when you understand that, you can see at every opportunity of life can be made sacred. And the game that we keep speaking about is in relationship. Imagine if you played a game of how you could make your beloveds.
Who could make each other the happiest?
Yeah, if you can make your beloveds as happy as possible, who could make the beloved the most happiest? If you played that sincerely, if you played it every day and didn't give up, what you'll notice is that the chemistries that are at first, that falling in love chemistries, the falling in love creates the falling out of love. But if those
the pendulum that swings from one side to the next, and it will always swing because it is in its polarity.
But if you can integrate that, those chemistries, the serotonin, the oxytocin, they take on a higher form.
They do. They transform.
They go into this beautiful
lasting,
upsourcing, we'll call it, that creates the very chemistry for the mystical experience that happens within yourself, that can happen in divine union, that can happen just from the principle of love itself. When you really allow every single thing that you experience in life to become a manifestation of love or an experience of love.
But it's not human love.
It's not a human love.
It's not a
It's not a
human
conditioned love.
No, it goes well beyond that to, again, the sacredness of the universe. It is about recognizing the sacred universe within and how every moment is sacred and how only love is truly real. And this entire universe and creation cannot exist without love. Thus, every element, every aspect, and every atom, every subatomic particle is made of that love. Thus, you can never be separate from that love. And thus, once you understand that, then there is no need to seek that love or chase that love. For you emanate that love because that is all that is.
Yes.
And that is the magic that we are speaking of.
Yeah.
I just love listening to the two of you. And you provide so much wisdom, and my body always lights up. And, one of the things I want to acknowledge is that a lot of the people who watch this show are single. I happen to be single. And I learned so much from both of you. Every speaker we have is wonderful, but I've had the good fortune to actually go to your website, and I want to turn people onto this because they offer a lot. They're very, very generous. Their website is twinray.com, TWINRAY.com. And first thing you want to do when you go there is just register. Give them your name and your email address and accept their gift. And then start download their app. And they have so many courses and so many things that they're offering. And they are very specific. So whether you're single, new in a relationship for a long time, there's a lot of different ways to connect and to learn from these two amazing beings you're a beautiful couple, but you've taken it to a really high level of evolution. And so again, I just love having you on our shows. I love knowing that you're in our world, providing your light. And I'm just delighted that you're a big part of who we are now as a global awakening tribe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, beloved Scott. It's always a blessing to share love.
And you're always so moving with the truth of your words and your heart, both you and beloved Deborah. Thank you for having us. It is our honor to be with you.
Yes.
Stick around for a few minutes because you're going to love. I get to introduce two of my dearest friends next. This show is a great show for Deborah and I because we get to meet new people. Like I'd never met Ariel Ford before. I'd read her books, but I got to meet her, doing the show. But we also get to sometimes bring on people that we've known for a long time and love. And that's who I get to introduce next. I get to introduce you to Maria and Fajun, and they are one of my favorite couples of all time. She is a brilliant singer, songwriter, composer. She's been on our show before, and probably a lot of you know her. She's a multi-instrumentalist, a multimedia enchantress, and she is so creative in her forms of expression. She combines music with compassionate communication, with different audiences. She's just one of the most creative, multi-talented human beings I've ever met. And her beloved of many, many, many years is Fajun, who is ordained as a Buddhist interfaith minister through the Lohan order. It's a branch of the Zen Buddhist lineage of Yon, empty cloud. His spiritual education has included work with Sufi and Taoist training, neo-pagan and Wiccan initiation, classical Indian yogic texts and practices, and a lifetime of biblical studies, both Christian and in the tradition of the Kabbalah. So they are quite an amazing couple. And again, as a wonderful demonstration of the divine feminine and divine masculine coming together, in their relationship and now in their creative expression. Welcome.
Thank you, Scott. It's really beautiful to be here. And Fajun and I, we love being as a part of this conversation with the divine masculine and feminine. We've been together many years, playing together and sovereignly in a lot of different ways. This song actually that I'm about to share is a song called Echo, which I just released on my album Sapphire. And I wrote this song when I was with Fajun. We were on a meditation retreat. It was one of the things we love to do together to build our practice together is take meditation retreats for 7 days and just go into silence and do our thing. And I actually wrote this song during that retreat. And it was about Fajun. It was a love song for my love. And it was this this vision that I was having of us in another lifetime, like on another world, receiving this image of a world that had gone into samsara, it had fallen into disarray, and that through the power of our love and our earnest desire to go and bring the alchemy of our pure love to the lands, we were reincarnating and committed to finding each other, through the veils and through many lifetimes on earth. So this is a song about that beautiful mythic story connected to some of the great myths that I've heard about divine love, of love through many lifetimes, and the prayer of love to be able to bring healing and harmony to the people in times of great need. So enjoy this song called Echo. I want to be a creature in your night, feral and forgiving of the way we love our sweat and start to smell of earth, of soil in the breeze. All along I'll wish for you to sing into the depths of me. I want to be the echo of your voice as you call into the canyons just to see how far it travels. I bet we could go distances beyond what our telescopes have seen to our most lucid dreams. In worlds of stars exploding, underwater in slow motion, ecstasy in greatest heights, circle around eternal moments where we meet our maker, pulsing wave, light, shaking, woven bodies holding presence as we sort through all the sights, all the lights. We holding tight to the night. We holding tight to the echo. We were walking in a distant world, crystalline and clear, not a soul dared enter through the sacred arcs where you were holding a golden spell. Inside I caught a glimpse into a broken realm where prayers were answered slowly, lifetimes too late. We were singing from the softness of a heart that wanted none of it. We yearned for understanding of why things come undone. And on that night we made a vow to sing for all the unsung. In worlds of stars exploding, on water in slow motion, ecstasy in greatest heights, circle around eternal moments where we meet our maker, pulsing wave of light, shaking woven bodies holding presence as we sort through all the sights, all the lights. We holding tight to the night. We holding tight to the echo. We holding tight to the echo. I wanna be a symbol in your dream, to dance upon those threads, spelling notes with every step, and you could play them through a tiny music box, spinning out these holographic sounds from the mountains mountaintops. Everyone could hear the prayer we made under the moon. I blew upon your forehead so you knew that I was true. And when the wind blows now, you'll feel me and remember. Waterfalls of diamonds pour into our sweet surrender. In worlds of stars exploding, underwater in slow motion, ecstasy in greatest heights. Circle around eternal moments where we meet our maker. Pulse and wave of light, shaking woven bodies holding presence as we sort through all the sights. All the lights. We holding tight to the night. We holding tight to the echo. We holding tight to the echo. We holding tight. We holding tight. We holding tight. Hold me.
That's really, really beautiful. Really beautiful. Just love seeing, because I know you two and I know the depth of your love. It's just beautiful to see you two together on this show.
Thank you.
One of the things we've talked about is how we have ideally, the romantic collaborations, but then there's also professional collaborations. And many of you have seen Elijah Ray on our show. And Maria, you're doing a whole project with Elijah Ray. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Elijah, my beautiful, beloved muse brother. We have this whole divine, masculine, feminine collaboration in our world of mutual love of sound healing and vocal alchemy cultivation. And so he and I have developed over the last couple of years a methodology of working with the voice as a tool for inner alchemy, for cultivating personal power through sound. And we are running right now a 12-week immersion into this method, and with several live calls and a whole library of just awesome tools and skills to, people are calling it the Hogwarts for vocalists. So it's our magic school for sound wizards. And we're inviting people to join us. We just had our first session today. We have 5 more live sessions to come in this journey. And it's just one of my favorite places to hang out and play. And of course, those of you know Elijah, he's just a fantastic human and incredible sound wizard and vocalist. And it's just one of my favorite collaborations in my life, and favorite playmates and ways to dance and muse and share love and share creativity.
Beautiful. And that's at vocalresonance.com.
Vocalcoreresonance.com.
Thank you. Vocalcoreresonance.com. Vocalcoreresonance.com. Now, if somebody joins today, is there a recording from today's show?
Absolutely. All of the live sessions from this season are recorded. So you guys are welcome to come and check out just our welcome session from today. And then we'll have 5 more to come where we get to practice as a community all of the tools that are laid out in the curriculum.
Everybody, you got to stay till the end because we got more Maria and Fajun at the end of the show. So definitely stick around. And now to introduce our keynotes for the night, here's Deborah.
Thank you, Scott. And I am so honored to bring this man to you now. He is definitely an example of the sacred masculine in his life, in his mission, and in his purpose. Reverend Matthew Fox is an author, a theologian. He's an activist priest, and he's been calling people to spirit and consciousness into the creation spirituality lineage for over 50 years. He's written 38 books, he lectures, he does retreats, he has innovative educational models that ignited an international movement that awakened people to be mystics and prophets, contemplative art activists who honor and defend the earth and work for justice. He has many incredible projects. Some of his recent projects are the Order of the Sacred Earth. He has daily meditations with Matthew Fox, and you may know him from doing the Cosmic Mass, which he has done for so many years, which is an incredible spiritual theater. So thank you, Matthew, for coming on and sharing your wisdom of this very important topic for these incredible times. Welcome.
Thank you, Deborah, and thank you, Scott, for a platform like this and for the theme you've chosen, especially for this time, that of the sacred masculine and the divine feminine. Such an important marriage that we have to bring back, the sacred marriage. Now, I wrote a book a few years ago called The Hidden Spirituality of Men, 10 Metaphors to Awaken the Sacred Masculine. And I end it with 2 chapters on this sacred marriage, the divine feminine and the sacred masculine. Because we who are feminists know that the goddess has been returning for decades in the consciousness of Westerners. And finally, and it's a wonderful thing, but the goddess without a proper consort is, what can I say, is not at her fullest. And so it's not enough that we bring back the divine feminine. We also have to awaken the sacred masculine, because a masculine in our culture is very toxic. It's the reptilian brain out of control on steroids. And we have to realize that, of course, both men and women contain the goddess and the masculine. So it's not just a male problem that patriarchy, the worldview of patriarchy and reptilian brain-itis has taken over our consciousness, our institutions so easily. Everyone has to clean and detox ourselves from a toxic masculine and find a healthier and more sacred masculine. In fact, when I wrote this book, the very first response I got was an email from a woman, and she said, I've been an active feminist for 30 years. I have over 200 books in my library at home on the sacred feminine, and not one book on the sacred masculine, and I have 2 teenage sons. She said, until I read your book, I didn't realize how much men have suffered under patriarchy. And another response I got very early was from a Native American man. He came up to me at a conference and he said, I've been working in prisons for 12 years. He said, it's very hard to get male prisoners to look inside. They want to project on others all their problems. He said, in fact, it's been impossible. Yours is the first book that has gotten the men involved and resulted in their finding the nobility inside. Now that phrase is so powerful and beautiful. I hope you all memorize it. The nobility inside. That's what's missing with a lot of men. They've been put down for so long that the nobility seems to be out of touch for them. And so that's why I call on 10 archetypes in this book, because this is where nobility comes from. I'll just name some of them: Father Sky, the Green Man, the Blue Man, Spiritual Warrior, the Hunter-Gatherer. These are all very powerful, of course, fatherhood. These are all powerful archetypes that are bigger than any religion or any culture. They're old and they're deep, and they need to be awakened through all of our cultures and all of our spiritual traditions. Pardon me. So let me focus on just 2. The first I'll talk about is the Green Man, because obviously we're living at a time when Mother Earth is being despoiled, and indeed we're facing not only the extinction of millions of species, but our own extinction as a species. That's how far we've come in ignoring the sacredness of Mother Earth. Now, the Green Man is a defender of Mother Earth. The Green Man is an archetype of the spiritual warrior defending Mother Earth. Very often he's pictured with a beard that becomes a wreath around his entire head. And in the beard are living things, grapes or birds, and of course, greenery, branches and so forth, leaves. All this is a recognition of the profound generativity of the male. We're celebrating Mother's Day tomorrow, but there's a mother inside every male too. That there's a creative desire to birth in all of us, men and women. And the green man represents then our special relationship to the vegetative world, to the world of plants. And of course, without plants, there would be no animals, and there certainly would be no humans. Native Americans say plants are the wisest of all the creatures on the planet because they invented photosynthesis. They learned how to eat the sun. And of course, therefore, we have food, and therefore we eat the sun also. So the green man is a marvelous archetype at this time because he stands up as a warrior to defend Mother Earth. Now, I propose at the last section of my book that what we need today is a marriage of the green man on the one hand and the Black Madonna on the other, because the Black Madonna is a goddess and represents the fullness of the richness of the earth. She also represents, well, Black people and people of color. She comes from Africa, from the goddess Isis. So, of course, Black Lives Matter and the realization of how racist our institutions can be and have been, all this is part of the Black Madonna knocking on us again to wake up. So this marriage of the green man and the Black Madonna, I think, would be a marvelous ritual to enact to bring together the sacred masculine and the divine feminine. Now, let me say a few words about the archetype of Father Sky. In the modern era, we were taught by science that the sky was dead and inert. It was mechanical pieces out there, cold and inert, and we had a hunker down. Men especially had a hunker down because Father Sky was just a myth, Well, obviously that entire worldview has been thrown out the window by today's postmodern science, where we now know that there's a star being born every 15 seconds out there in the universe. So the universe is alive. It's a maternity bed. The great mystic Meister Eckhart said in the 14th century, he said, what does God do all day long? God lies on a maternity bed giving birth. Well, he had an intuition about our universe that we need to recover today, and it's easy to recover it thanks to today's science and the scientific creation story of how our existence is 13.8 billion years old, that all this earth and all this wonder of our lives has come along over a 13.8 billion year experience of gestation and birthing and mothering. Now, I'd like to share with you an amazing passage by Scott Russell Sanders, a wonderful writer, in his wonderful book, Hunting for Hope, A Father's Journey. He wrote this book after he and his 17-year-old son went out for a camping weekend. He thought he was going to be a tremendous bonding with his son, and ended up being a great big fight. And his son ended up saying, why are you so pessimistic? Why can you only talk about the suffering of the earth and everything? You know, go get a life, his son said to him. So Sanders took 2 years off and went hunting for hope. And that's the name of the book, Hunting for Hope, A Father's Journey. But here he talks about an experience he had during his retreat of 2 years. He says, he was driving along and the sky spoke to him. I climbed out of the car with a greeting on my lips, but the sky hushed me. From the black bowl of space, countless fiery lights shone down, each one a sun or a swirl of suns, the whole brilliant host of them enough to strike me dumb. He says, what we need is faith. Faith in what? In our capacity for decent and loving work, in the healing energy of wildness, in the holiness of creation. And he says that the universe exists at all, that it obeys laws, that those laws have brought forth galaxies and stars and planets, and on one planet at least, life, and our out of life consciousness, and out of consciousness, these words, this breath, all this is a chain of wonders. I dangle from that chain and hold on tight. I just love that. This is Father Sky speaking. He dangles from the chain of the awe of our existence, the awe of our existence that comes from Father Sky. Now, don't get literal. 90% of human cultures talk about Father Sky and Mother Earth, but 10%, like Egypt, talk about Mother Sky and Father Earth. So you don't want to get tripped up by literalism ever. The point is the Father and the Mother come together. So we have another marvelous sacred marriage here. We have Father Sky and Mother Earth. But men and women alike have to recover the aliveness of Father Sky, because it was lost for centuries under the modern consciousness of the mechanical universe. But it is back today in spades with this new understanding of the universe, which is, as we know, not a machine. The nearest parallel to what we know about the universe is that it is an organism. It started smaller than a zygote, the original fireball, and has now expanded, birthed to be 2 trillion galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars in them. And a star is a big deal. You know, our sun can hold 1 million Earths, 1 million Earths. And our sun is only considered, well, kind of middle size in comparison to other stars. So we're part of an amazing drama, and the energy of the masculine and the feminine, all of it sacred, has made this possible. Father Sky, Mother Earth, Green Man, Black Madonna, a good way to begin, well, to start over and to move beyond patriarchy as a philosophy, as a worldview, and move into this arena of love and sacred marriaging. Now, the previous speakers, I appreciate very much, and they talked about how love is everything. So I want to share with you one story about one of my favorite feminists, Julia Norwich, who lived through the pandemic of the 14th century, which killed 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 3 people. And she had this vision, and it's painted on the cover of my book. The vision was of a small round ball in her palm of her hand, she says, the size of a hazelnut, but it was glowing. And she said, "What is this?" And the answer was, this is everything that is created. In other words, the whole universe appeared to her glowing as small as a hazelnut. And she said, but it is so fragile. It could so easily fall apart. And the answer was, it is kept together by love. It is kept together by love. So love is a cosmic energy. Call it the cosmic Christ, call it the cosmic Buddha, call it the cosmic image of God, as Jewish tradition does. The lesson is that it's kept together by love. That's a good message, I think, on the eve of Mother's Day, and it just happens to be today, Julia Norwich's feast day.
Matthew, thank you so much. I have been a fan of yours for a very long time, ever since I was going to your events in Oakland. I do want to give people, and have you comment a little bit about 2 ways that they can get more of your meditation and your magic. Tell us, first of all, about the daily meditations. And I'm showing
daily
that website.
meditations are daily, and they're free. You just go to this webpage, Daily Meditations with Matthew Fox, and you sign up, and there they are. So I'm commenting on various events that are going on in the world, and I'm drawing on my writings from over the years as well. And I also offer a little 90-second video each day too, that links to the theme of that day. This week, we've been working on shamanism in particular, because Thomas Berry says we need fewer priests, fewer professors, and more shamans if we're going to survive as a species. So I think that's a pretty strong statement by Thomas Berry. So I took him up on it, and we've been meditating on that for about 10 days now.
Matthew, I'm imagining you've transitioned from your start in a more traditional Christian background into being an urban shaman. Clearly, you have become an urban shaman, my friend.
An urban shaman.
Tell us about this. Coming up this Tuesday, you're doing, talk about shamans. Tell us
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit about mystic shamans for our time.
Right. Yes, I'm doing a trialogue with Steve Herman, who wrote last year a wonderful book on Emily Dickinson as a medicine woman, as a shaman. And then my book recently on Julia of Norwich, and she certainly registers as a shaman too. And then Cameron Trimble is going to offer her opinions on both of these women as well. She's a very interesting UCC minister and pilot and businesswoman. I don't know too many UCC ministers who are pilots and businesswomen and pastors. So it should be fun, and it's free. It's actually going to be a fundraiser for our daily meditations because they're free, but it should be very interesting. Steve Herman is a Jungian analyst. He's written some wonderful books on Walt Whitman and spiritual democracy, and his book on Emily Dickinson I find stunning because I love Emily Dickinson, but a lot of the poems go over my head. I don't get them, but he exegetes them brilliantly and brings out the powerful messages that Emily offers us. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Matthew. This is your second time on our show, and hopefully not the last. And one last thing I just want to mention. I'm going to put the spotlight on this. I mentioned that, and you're learning about our sponsor. One of his cards is the Green Man. So when you're talking, you're able to find it in the deck.
I'm glad. Yes, he's such a powerful archetype for our time. And, I think too many men are self-conscious. They're afraid of stepping on women's toes and stuff. And we're too busy being unmen. And the Green Man, the whole concept of the spiritual warrior too, is about finding our authentic strength as men. And it has to do with defending Mother Earth, just as it has to do with defending one's family and children and the rest. But I just think it's an archetype whose time has come. And, Jung says that archetypes return when we need them, And I think actually all of these are Father Sky, the Blue Man, which is about creativity and inside the male soul and the female soul. All these archetypes are returning for a reason, that we need to redefine the masculine today. And time's running out. We can't drop the ball here. Time's running out on how we define humanhood and humanity itself. And I think many men are ready to move on this. And I think many women too want to support men and also want to cleanse their own souls of a poisonous masculinity that has invaded our consciousness, our worldview, that's dualistic and not at home with matter, which also means mother. In Latin, mater or materia are the same words, mother and matter. And all this has to be cleansed for us to work together as partners and for the earth to remain healthy and thrive.
Well, thank you for the beautiful role you're playing. And to kind of give us some inspiration, here is beautiful. Thank you so much, Jay. And I'm just going to put the spotlight on Jay for a moment. Just want to acknowledge Jay for the videos that he creates. Thank you so much, Jay. And now to tell us about our next speaker that we're really very, very excited to have. Here's Deborah. Oh, you're muted, Deborah.
Yeah. You were going to introduce next speaker, I think.
Oh, you're right. It's me. I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
Gosh. Well, I'm going to put the spotlight on them. And I was all excited about it too. It's Gay and Katie Hendricks. And boy, you talk about the long-term divine feminine, divine masculine. I've been following them ever since the book Conscious Loving came out. And they've been doing this together. Have you hit 40 years yet? When you're on our show, you were 39.
Well, we're about to have our 40th wedding anniversary this year, but we met in 1980. So this is actually our 42nd year of being together.
Wow. Wow. Well, Gay and Katie have been pioneers in the field of body intelligence and relationship transformation for, as you just heard, 42 years. And they really have mastered ways to translate kind of the powerful concepts and life skills that they understand into very simple to understand experiential processes. They help us to discover our own body's intelligence and to integrate life-changing skills. They've empowered hundreds of coaches around the world, and they've literally reached probably millions at this point. They've appeared on over 500 television and radio programs, including, of course, Oprah and many others. So I'm so honored to have you both with us. And, you know, I'm just going to say, I love your humility. You've been with the whole show. You're dancing to the songs. 15 years ago, I attended a workshop that you guys are doing at a Whole Life Expo that was very poorly attended. And my girlfriend and I were the only ones that came. And you still hung out and talked to us for an hour. I just love you guys. So thank you for your wisdom. And thank you for your humility. And thank you for being on our show tonight.
Thank you so much. Well, through the many waves, the ebbs and flows of life, we've really been so grateful to be able to dedicate our lives to helping people reveal essence. So all of our work is really about revealing what's at our core, who each of us is authentically, and then the sharing of essence is really, it's the most delicious experience, I think, that's available to humans. And so that's what our work is about. And the work has become play. I just wanted to put in a little plug for play, because a lot of what's going on right now is deadly serious and it's very urgent. And my sense is that as our essence comes through, what our essence really wants to do is to create and to play, and that we can play our way through solutions as well as the things that make us laugh.
And for that reason, we'd like to take a lighthearted look at some key archetypes of masculine and feminine that show up. Katie and I have been seeing couples now for the whole time we've been together. And at this stage, I lost count, somewhere around 4,000, 4,500. So we've had the opportunity to work up close and personal here in the office or out in our seminars with a lot of real world applications of what we're talking about here tonight. So in that spirit of real world applications, let us take you through a few of the major masculine, feminine archetypes that show up in relationship therapists' offices.
And so we want to invite you to experience this along with us. So we want to first share with you the story of the glommer and the splitter. So what I'd like you to do is to hug yourself really tight. And I'd like you to say out loud, I love to be close.
I love to be close to people. I love to hug a person for 20, 30, 40 seconds. That just makes my day. That's a glommer. Okay.
That's a glommer.
Now, let's all act out the splitter. The splitter says, I need my space.
I must have my space. I must have my space.
Yes, I need my space. And you're in my space.
Yes, because I love to glom.
And so as fate would have it, the universe often arranges for a glommer to fall in love with a splitter. And if you'd like a good example, look no further, because when I got into my relationship with Katie, I was definitely not a hugger. You know, this whole hugging thing, it just,
I made the mistake one time as we were walking down the street. I think I patted you or I touched
patted
your
me
back.
on the bottom.
Oh,
or
I
something.
patted you on the
Yes,
bottom, and I got a lecture right on Main Street about how I was not to do that.
So I was not in the glommer mode. I was definitely a splitter. My theme song was "Don't Fence Me In," and I later found out that that was why I'd never had a really good relationship, because I didn't know how to make a commitment to another person until I was 34 years old. So
yeah, so the point here is that each of us have what we call an urge to merge and an urge to individuate. And that as we use our own knowing ourselves, knowing our own authentic desires, we can begin to have a relationship dance where both of us get to experience closeness and get to experience individuation that enhances the development, the full development of each of us, rather than, for example, creating an argument to get space, because when you do that, you just create distance. So that's number one. So number two is the thinker and the feeler.
yes, I was an English major. I insist on proper grammar at all times, and
Yes.
I'm a listening for bad grammar.
Yes,
and,
yes, indeed.
So if
Yes,
anybody
indeed.
commits a bad grammar mistake around here, that they get severely
Yes,
punished.
by psychologist license number 435. And I have such a rich inner experience, but when I met you, often my experience would get hung up trying to come out through my mouth. And so one of the great things, I want to give you a punchline right now, which is one of the things we have experienced is that if I'm willing to use each of my interactions as an opportunity to learn, that I learned from you how to translate this rich inner experience into something that was understandable to other people.
So it's nice if people come into a relationship with a polarity, like one being a feeler and one being a thinker, or one being a splitter and one being a glommer. It would be ideal if we came in and said, you know, I have this issue with not liking to hug people very much, and I noticed you're extremely good at it. Could I please learn from you?
Oh, yes, I'd be delighted.
Yeah.
I'd be delighted. And I noticed that you can translate very complex things into understandable language, and I'd like to learn how to do that.
But usually that's not exactly the way it works out, because like, people get into kind of a slam dance with that. But ultimately, the magic in a relationship comes from both people being willing to open their hearts and learn from the other person with every interaction. And so I've learned to be a master hugger from this amazing woman. And I've learned a lot about my emotions, because I came in very split. You know, if it didn't happen above my chin, I wasn't very interested in it. And so that now I feel like I'm able to be a whole person because I've learned so much about fear and anger and sadness and joy and sexuality from Katie.
And also, what I really appreciate is that you share your feelings with me now. So I can be with you when something from the past that's upset you comes up, or something that you're feeling sad or angry about, that you let me in, really enhances the flow of intimacy. And the last one that we wanted to share with you was what we call tidy and messy.
Yes.
Yes.
Now you may be able to just take a good look here and figure out who the tidy one was here and who the messy one was.
We say every relationship has a sharp pencil and a happy idiot. So that's another way of saying tidy and messy. So just guess.
I was the happy idiot. The things that happened below my chin were things like stuff I left around on the counter and socks on the floor and things like that. So, but I have actually learned so much over the past 42 years with Katie about the value of living in an uncluttered space. You should have seen my office when I was a university professor. There were so many stacks of books and papers I'd accumulated over my 2 decades as a professor that my office, I think, was an earthquake hazard, you know, things tipping over on me. But now if you look, here's my office, and it's very tidy because I have learned an incredible amount about how to keep my space free, and it actually creates to my creativity now.
And my creativity has been enhanced by really learning that creativity by its very nature is messy. And so being able to let go and leave things half finished, to create something and then let go of it, to spread things out and make a big mess, has been incredibly liberating. So rather than trying to control each other or trying to change each other into a version of us, our interactions have really been about celebrating what our first song was about, celebrating our differences. I so love that celebrating who you are and celebrating is the best way, and appreciating is the best way to actually enhance essence and bring forth more of what each of you want to be creating in the world. So we really want to recommend to everybody rich appreciation. We have lots of resources to assist you to do that. It's such a simple thing to do that people kind of overlook it because, you know, it just seems so like, yeah, I love you, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, I love you.
So in that spirit, we'd like to appreciate you folks, the Global Peace Tribe. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing in the world and making the world a better place and a fun place to be on a Saturday night. And thanks so much for your giving a forum to folks like Matthew and us and people who have something to say about the human spirit.
Well, don't go away yet, because I'm going to show 2 of your websites, actually.
Oh, great.
There's a lot of resources they've created, but I want to take a moment and just say, I so appreciate how playful you are with each other. And I also really love watching how you look at each other, not just on camera, but, you know, we've got kind of, you know, I can see what's going on with all the panelists. And throughout the show, while they were watching the show, the way that you look at each other 40 years later with so much love and so much genuine respect, it's really beautiful. It's very inspiring. So just really want to acknowledge that off-camera thing that I've been noticing. Oh, very beautiful. All right, so let's take a look at some of the wonderful ways that we can get more of Gay and Katie Hendricks.
Yes, so this is the Hendricks Institute website, and this has a lot of free material on relationships, and it also gives you a chance to take a look at our seminars, our upcoming seminars. And our next one is one thing I'm very excited about because it's going to be a year-long process that I'm calling Reweaving the World, and using our each of us the power of our own integrity to create a new foundation on which we can build a world that really works.
Beautiful. All right. And you've got some wonderful videos here.
Lots of videos, lots of free resources on both of our websites.
Great. And we're going to go to the other one in a moment, but just want people to know it's Hendricks.com, and they spell it HENDRICKS.com.
That's right.
Correct.
Now, I want to take us to the other website, which is your foundation for conscious living.
Yes.
And boy, there's a lot there too. Tell us about it.
Yes.
We have a nonprofit foundation that many years ago we set up to award scholarships and to fund research that makes the world a better place. And we've funded movies, various kinds, documentaries and dramas and things that have a certain spirit to them. And we also funded the first worldwide conscious loving film festival, movies about relationships that we had literally hundreds, possibly 1,000 or so different movies.
It was very fun.
Submitted to it for our film festival. So that's what our nonprofit foundation does. And we take a lot of pleasure and pride in providing the funds and raising the funds for people to get scholarships and do projects all over the world.
And one thing I'd like people to know about the Foundation for Conscious Living is that we have video modules. If you look at the section, it's called the Big Leap Online Programs. That's right over there in the purple. There are several dozen free programs for you to come home to yourself, restore resourcefulness, and create caring communities. And so that's something that our whole community has been creating for several years now. And it has so many resources for you that can be integrated into what you're already doing. And so really want you to check it out because they're all free.
Wow. God bless you both. Just the incredible contribution you've made. And I can't wait to see what you're going to do over the next 40 years.
Me too.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, we've had a great time for 42 years. I can't wait to see what the next 42 bring us.
You're about the halfway point.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
God bless you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Scott. Yeah.
Right.
Thanks, Deborah.
Thank you, Deborah.
Yeah.
And we've got another video that leads us into our next section. That's right. It is time for the Global Peace Tribe announcements. We're about 2/3 of the way through the show, so stick around because we still have some really wonderful stuff coming up. We always want to thank our sponsors. So once again, thank you to Richard, the Grateful Bear, for sponsoring our show. We're going to see a little bit more of Richard in a moment. Thank you again, Jay and Jan, our wonderful producers. And I really want to thank our broadcast partners. And of course, so many of you are watching us right now on Unify, and we really appreciate our friends at Unify. Also, a lot of you are watching us through different Facebook groups and pages through the Sign Network. So thank you to John and Summer Raymer. We're going to be collaborating a lot with John and Summer and many others on the World Unity Week that's coming up next month. Thank you to Alan Steinfeld, our buddy. I just had him. We did a big show together last week in Sedona that Deborah was out there, and he always carries us on his New Realities YouTube channel. Light Touch, our ongoing sponsor. Thank you so much, Jay and Jan. And then all the other places that carry us. New Earth One, my company, Love Coach Academy, Earth Dance, Humanities Team, Portal to Ascension, Disclosure Fest, Global Days of Unity, Earthwalk United, and the Enlightened World Network. And if you're watching us on any of those other places, if you're not on our Zoom room yet, hey, come on into the Zoom room. There's still plenty of time for you to come on in and participate. And it's wonderful for you to be in with the several hundred people that are in our Zoom room because we're all chatting with each other and connecting. And it's really wonderful to have that happen. So just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and join us. It's a really wonderful way to continue to grow our community because we're doing a lot of other things. We're not just doing Saturday Night Live, but we're doing more and more events, and we want you to know about it. Also, by joining, you'll get every Monday, Deborah sends out an email that has access to the replay of the most recent show and also how to access all 60 previous shows that we've done. And they're all amazing. So there's a lot of great content we want you to have access to. So please do join the Global Peace Tribe. And now to share a little bit more about what's coming up, here's Deborah.
Thank you, Scott. And I also want to thank everyone for all your past support in whatever way that you have given it that has allowed us to do 59 shows already. That's amazing. And yes, Scott and I are going to commit to a season 6, an incredible mix, appreciating the past and visioning in the future. So that's what we're planning to create. And in order to do that, we'd really love your opinions, because this is not just about us giving to you, it's us tuning in to what everyone wants to see and what's top on their mind and what they want to hear, the people, all of that. So we have a survey that we usually put out at this time, and we'd really love for you to fill it out. There's not too many questions and only take a minute or so, but it really helps us to understand what you want. One of the questions is, we're thinking about making the time a little bit later, since in the United States it's going towards summer, people are staying out a little bit later, but we don't want to lose our East Coast people. So we'd love for you to weigh into that. So I'm going to post the link for the survey in the chat room, and it will also be in our replay email that comes out on Monday. So please give us your opinion and your ideas and creativity. We'd love that. Also, if you'd like to volunteer and help us create the next season, there's all kinds of ways you can help. I'm going to post the volunteer form in the chat room, and it will be in the replay email as well. And also our GoFundMe, especially if you didn't donate when you registered, or if you're on a broadcast, one of our broadcast partners, and you'd like to ping us some green love so we can really create a team and continue to do this week after week for you, please go to our GoFundMe. I'm going to put a link in the chat room. It's always in our emails, and you can always go to GoFundMe, type in Global Peace Tribe, and you'll find us there. Also, another way to help is spread the word. You know, word of mouth, telling your friends and your family is totally golden. So we'd love for you to spread the word. You can forward the emails that we sent you that are all about the show. We also have a video that's really cool that tells all about the show. You can post that video in Facebook, and I'm going to post those links in the chat room. Or you can even pay it forward. We have a way that you can give a subscription for a gift, and that's a really good way to tune in your friends and family that you want to ping some love to, is give them a gift subscription. It's called Pay It Forward. It's always in our emails that we send, and I'm going to put the link in the chat room. So those are all the ways that we would love your help, and we're going to keep going as long as we get your support and your big yes for us to continue in all the ways that you do support. And as usual, we have an incredible show next week, and we have a video for you to tell you about it.
All right, here we go. You know what? I started to show the poster first, but let me show the video first then. Here we go.
Join us for Saturday Night Live on May 15th, when our theme is Becoming an Island of Coherence and Pulsing the Planet with Love. This week's show is hosted by Islands of Coherence Network and the Global Coherence Pulse. When a complex system is far from equilibrium, small islands of coherence in a sea of chaos have the capacity to lift the entire system to a higher order. Do you believe that a small cluster of humanity living in coherence can help shift the tide from a current of fear to one of love? How do we awaken, engage, and embody this capacity together now? Our guest this week will guide us through this evening of inquiry and experience. Guests include Bruce Lipton, Kristen Hoffman, Chris Decker, Claudia Wells, Nikita Gearing, Gary Malkin, Jennifer Hill, Michael Linfield, Danette Wilpert. Our artists this week are Minoz and Cornflower. And our hosts, Deborah Giusti, Scott Katamas, and Teresa Collins. So come and add your heart and presence to this special evening. Your participation matters. When we join together in heart-centered coherence, our impact is exponentially greater than the sum of our parts.
Beautiful. We just love our collaborations. That was Teresa Collins giving that narration, and she produces the show for us with Global Coherence Pulse once a season. So we really appreciate her. It's always an incredible show. And Scott, do you want to share the next 5 shows of the season?
Yeah, so after the May 15th show, we're going to have a very incredible weekend, actually. May 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, we're dedicating to addiction, recovery, and suicide prevention. And we're going to do a whole weekend of shows. Of course, on Saturday Night Alive, we're going to be bringing in people like Russell Brand, Gabor Mate, and we're really happy. We just learned that Reverend Michael Beckwith is going to be able to join us. And I want to really thank Jerry Anderson, the Mystic Abbot, who's helping to sponsor that weekend. On May 29th, Mark Sims, Whitley Strieber, and our galactic family come back together. And then on June 5th, we've got a wonderful new topic we've never done before, all about brain fitness and how the brain and the body function together. We're going to have some really interesting speakers. June 12th is going to be a blast. We are having so much fun putting together this show of celebrating the 60s, where we're going to have some of the amazing people that were around during the 60s that were major voices. It looks like we're going to have John Anderson from Yes with us. And we also are going to have how it's impacted and influenced us today. And wait till you see the show that Jay Mayer and Jan and Deborah and I are putting together. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, every quarter we do a solstice or equinox show. We've got Matt Kahn and many other wonderful speakers for our June 19th summer solstice show. And then on June 26th, Jay and the Mystic Abbot are collaborating to create a show that brings together wisdom from 7 different cultures as we create a harmonious future. So that's what we've got coming up to round out season 5, Time to Thrive. And there I am. So join us. And I want to thank those of you that have been donating to our GoFundMe. And before the end of the show, I'll come on and I'll read the names of the people that have donated. Thank you so much. We do appreciate those of you that donate when you register, those of you that kind of check us out for free and go, wow, these guys are really cool. This show's important. And a lot of you then come back and donate again. So thank you. We do have quite a team we're building, a lot of things we want to do. So please continue to support us. And we do appreciate all the wonderful ways that you do support us. So thank you very, very much. Deborah, is there anything else you'd like to share?
This has been an incredible show as usual. We never know how it's all going to come together, but every presenter has offered so much. And the music, that's what's next. We get to experience another musical act from Honey of the Heart. They were so beautiful opening up the show. And they're such an incredible example of this show with divine feminine and masculine operating together in their artistry, in their collaboration of their music, with their family. And we just love them. So I think they're getting ready there.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, beautiful.
Thank you so much for having us. We're going to have our little guest appearance here because it is getting to bedtime. So this next song, actually, we were talking about doing Roll Down the Coast for you guys. And instead, we chose this song called It's a River. We did this many years ago, and I think it just fits the mood of the night better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is called It's a River. And please check out Roll Down the Coast. It just came out April 27th. And this one is our next release in the coming weeks.
I wanted to say so much thanks to Jay and Jan and Deborah and Scott for having us here, all the work and love and energy that's gone into this, and what a huge honor it is to come on after Katie and Gay Hendricks, who are a huge, just valued mentorship in my life, for sure. This song really talks to like the journey of relationship, versus the last one talks specifically about the different energies coming together and that bridging the divides, communicating across those differences. Yeah, this one's more about being in it.
It's a rhythm, it's a shadow, it's a sheen. It's a feeling, it is fleeting, it is freeing, it is being. Like the way you move, embodied truth, source to soul, wild and smooth.
Hear what you're saying and all your words. We form a pattern like river trails into the cracks of the earth and sky. The painted picture of you and I.
It's a mountain, it's a fountain, it's in your mind, it's a dream. It's never ending, it is finite, nothing and everything. Make me glad to be alive, arrive, thrive, lift and die. You own your life.
Walking with 2 feet on ground.
Oh, it's a river.
Hearing soft sound like the moon go round.
It's a rhythm.
Tread lightly with your fleeting belief.
It's a shadow.
The mystery will offer relief.
It's where we come from. Shine on. Oh, it is hunger, it's inspiration. It's all universal needs. It's desperation. It is life force. It will bring you to your knees.
Hearing the leaves down are us
And we let go a little every day.
We're like those beings are planting us.
Oh, when we're dreaming, we're living.
You miss on those
As long as we play, as long as we're away,
We're like those leaves
as long as we're away.
It's a river, a rhythm, a shadow, a sheen. It's a feeling, it's fleeting, it's freeing, it's being. It's a temper,
It's kindness, it's where we all come from. It's all magic, it's science, it's beating of the drum.
it's an opus, it's madness, it's
Oh, the lost
it's
and
danger,
found.
it's honest, it's
Sanity and ground.
rise up after the dark of night.
It's a masterpiece, it's a
You
mess.
are the mountain that reaches over clouds.
It's never ending, it is finite. It is certain, it is our best. Shine on, shine on, shine on, yeah, yeah. Shine on, shine on, shine on. It's in the way you move, embody truth, source to soul, wild and smooth, wild and Are we done?
She was really waiting patiently for that song to end.
Oh my God, that's too adorable. Absolutely adorable. I love you guys. It's just so
Thanks for having us out again, Scott.
We
and
love you
everyone.
back. Yeah, thank you so much for including us in this beautiful offering.
Wasn't it amazing to just see Gay and Katie and how beautiful they are, the way they hold themselves? It's really inspiring. So I'm glad that you were touched by that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
A reminder that, again, please go to their website right now, honeyoftheheart.com. You can listen to Roll Down the Coast, their newest release, and definitely register, subscribe so that you can keep in touch with what they're doing. And we certainly look forward to when they're going to be playing live and doing some live shows. And maybe you'll even come play live at one of our upcoming retreats.
We'd love that.
That'd be sweet.
And this song we just played actually is our next song coming live. I don't think we have a date set for it, but within the next month or so.
God bless you. All right, take her to bed. Now, what's the bedtime ritual with her?
Little bath time, little toothbrushing, number one, number two, potentially, and then
Storytelling.
and she's been going out pretty
Sometimes
good.
a song. We do seasonal songs too at night.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, it's kind of interesting because our next guest also has a newborn. His actually is a little bit younger than yours, but I'm talking about Destin Garrick, and Destin is all about the evolved masculine. But I recently saw him at a wedding, and there the evolved masculine was holding his newborn baby, and it was pretty beautiful. So, hello, Destin. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you, Scott and Deborah. Thank you so much for having me. For the record, I have two children. The one you met is my son, the youngest. He's now 7 months, and I have a 3.5-year-old daughter as well. So I see so much of her in the three of you here as well. So the work that I do is around the evolved masculine. Scott, yes?
Oh, I was going to read a little bit more about you, actually. Destin is truly globally recognized. I've been following him for a long time. He's a leading voice in masculinity, sexuality, and personal empowerment. He's a certified sexologist at the American College of Sexologists International. Most of all, he's the founder and CEO of the Evolved Masculine. It's a pioneering coaching and training company for men. And he's the author of the best-selling book, The Evolved Masculine. I love this subtitle: Be the Man the World Needs and the One That She. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. Be the man the world needs and the one she craves. So thank you, Des, for being with us. And I'm going to now put the full spotlight on you.
I believe that there's any one major role that's being called forth from the sacred masculine at this time of this rebalancing of with the rise of the feminine on our planet right now. It is the ancient role of creating space in a world in which the feminine in all her forms feels safe to truly flourish and come into the fullness of her being. Now, this is through being on this path for so long, one major thing that I've learned about that whole process, especially for the men here, is that for us to play that role right, we have to start in here. You don't want to be the one to commit to creating safety for the women, the feminine, the planet itself, while you end up remaining point of danger for her. And you do, unless or until you confront the darkness that exists within you. And we all carry it because we've all been born into a highly imperfect world. We've born into a world that carries so much trauma. And we have, with that, inherited so much traumas. And so a mistake that I've seen too often in these more spiritual and conscious circles is in our focus towards the light, in our focus towards that which we want, in our focus towards this world that we want to bring into existence, we can too often avoid the difficult work of what's ours to do within. The difficult work of the parts of yourself, sometimes referred to as the shadow, the parts of yourself that are hard to look at, that you may want to disown or pretend aren't there. The parts of you that may feel weak, the parts of you that may move into anger, the parts of you that can cause harm externally or internally. And so first and foremost, I want this to be a call to have that willingness to look within and ask, what is it that you are not confronting in your own path? What is the hard work that is yours to do within? Now, another big aspect of this work that I do with the evolved masculine has to do with our relationship to our sexuality. If these past several years have been anything for the men present, particularly, it's been a giant mirror around maybe a lot of the programming that we've received around our sexuality, around ourselves as men, around what women are and their sexuality has been flawed. And so this has been an incredible opportunity for us to really look within and see, well, if not that, then what? A lot of men, particularly who are drawn into these more spiritual and conscious circles, I found have some pretty deep wounding when it comes to the masculine. Many of the women as well. And so what a lot of folks end up doing is they go into, if you look at this from more of the chakra, the 7 chakra perspective, they'll move into the heart and want to move up and up into source and spirit and spirituality. But this work around their power center, around their sexuality, around their groundedness and rootedness to this earth, or even things around money, are often distorted, often still quite disconnected. And so quite often with many of us, but I'm going to speak most particularly to the masculine identified folks here, quite often this is where your work is. It doesn't mean to ignore, please continue to open your heart. And as you do so, strengthen this connection to your power. One thing I say is that there are plenty of people in this world who are pursuing power while being completely disconnected from their hearts. We need more men who are connected to their hearts to own their power more deeply. It is strengthening and healing this connection between our heart and our power that can allow us to rise up and provide that safety for the feminine, not just the women in our lives, but them certainly, but also the feminine within ourselves and the planet itself. We need to be able to own our power and who you are and what you are capable of. Because if we are going to create this new world that we know in our hearts is possible, we have to own that power to create, to that masculine element of being a penetrative force in the world, to see a vision and to stop at nothing in service of that vision. It requires the ability to know your capacity, to have a willingness to step into that capacity. Your power, your sex, your ground. The groundedness, the sense of being rooted to this earth, connected to a nature, the planet, to all that is, even connected to the more primal animalistic aspects of who you are as a human being, the energy. Again, something that can be frightening to some, but I find that frightening is often because of where it can disconnect from the heart. Strengthen these connections as much as you are strengthening these connections. Strengthen down into your primal power. Strengthen down into this earth. Strengthen down to your ground, the groundedness. This groundedness is an aspect of masculinity and masculine power. Groundedness is what allows you to be imperturbable in the face of intensity of emotion. Quite often, one of the major things that feminine identified beings often are wanting and craving and needing so much from the masculine presences in their life is him to be a ground, and to be a grounded source for her to be able to fly up against, to feel whatever she's feeling, to express whatever she's feeling, and to be drawn back into the safety of that ground. That groundedness is something that is to be cultivated like a garden. It is something that requires attention over time to develop your ability to root. Many of us within this community have a greater attention to one's breath than most. So why don't you join me right now? And we're just going to do a very brief grounding exercise with our breath, something so simple. By intentionally making your exhale longer than your inhale, it alone will begin that grounding process. As you do so, as you make each breath a little slower and a little deeper than the one before it, allowing your exhale to be even longer still, just imagine, visualize this energy moving down your body, this roots coming out through the bottoms of your feet, out from your core, down into this earth, spreading deep and spreading wide. As you do so, imagine that someone would be able to come up to you and give you a shove and you wouldn't move. That is how rooted and grounded you are. Like a thick oak tree, unmovable. And from that ground, feel into your sex, your sacral chakra, that area between your pubic bone and your sacrum, and allow your hips to just move for a moment. Feel the movement in your hips. Take your breath down to your sex. Own it. There's nothing that it needs to do. There's nothing no way that it needs to be. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing that is lacking. It's simply an awareness of this is a part of the whole of who you are, mind, body, and spirit. Bring your attention further up to your power and your power center. Your power, not this old paradigm idea of power over, your sense of power based on what you can do to others or how you feel in comparison to others. This is the power that exists from within. As you amplify it, as you grow in your own power, is your light shining brighter. As Marianne Williamson is so known for, as that shines brighter, it only gives permission to others to do the same. Own that power and connect it to your heart. Your heart, this beautiful heart of yours that brings you into communities like this, that loves and cares and has such deep compassion, that wants so much more love in this world, and to feel so much love within you, to know that you are deserving of love, and to cultivate and practice your ability to love without condition, and to feel these connections, your love, your power, your sex, your ground, your sex, your power, your heart, your ability to express and speak your truth, your authenticity, your vision, your intellect, as well as your intuition, and of course, your spirit in connection to the divine and all it is. This evolved masculine owns and steps into his masculinity in its fullness while integrating his healthy feminine. You are whole, you carry it all, and find the places within you that are wounded, whether the wounds around your masculine or the wounds around your feminine, whether you are a man, woman, or otherwise identified, chances are you have wounds around both. Look at that which is uncomfortable. Practice stepping into and expressing things that maybe you've pushed away or shunned in the past. Explore more of the whole of who you are. You are capable of so much more. And this earth, the feminine in all her forms, the women identified individuals, the feminine inside the men, the Mother Earth itself, the feminine is coming into her fullness. She needs the masculine in all of us to hold powerful space, to help call out anything that is less than that love, anything that is less than that safety that is deserved, including and first and foremost within ourselves.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Destin. And a lot of people in the chat box are talking about how much they appreciate your wisdom. And Destin has created a special promotion just for our Saturday Night Alive audience. So if you go to his main website, evolvedmasculine.com, but then put in /blueprint, and it's a free gift. Tell us about it, Destin. What are people going to get?
Yeah, I've spent over a decade kind of developing this transmission of this, what I call the Evolved Masculine Blueprint. It's really about a 10-minute audio that takes you through this process of the Evolved Masculine as I've come to see it and develop it, and then brings you into this process of really clarifying your own vision, your own idea of what your own Evolved Masculine Blueprint would be, or what that would mean to you, so that you can use it as a guiding light to help you on your own path of whether it is who you're wanting to step into becoming more of, or who it is that you want to call more into your life.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for being with us. It's your first time. I'm certainly hoping you're going to be back with us again and again as time goes on. And again, please everybody go to the Evolved Masculine /Blueprint. And you know, a lot of people watch the replays. How long will this be available, Destin?
I'm gonna keep it up for a while for you guys. I want you
Great.
to
Okay, great.
be
Yeah,
able to have
because
it. No worries.
you'll go to the YouTube channel and watch this. So thank you very, very much. Really, really appreciating having you on the show. And God's blessings to you and to your family.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for having me.
All right. We've got a couple of videos that are really important right now. Absolutely. Please do stay tuned. You know, Jay has been putting together these wisdom jewels for us. And this week he's staying at my house. So it's been really fun working with him. And we had all these wonderful divine, masculine, feminine wisdom jewels, but he kept finding others. So Jay, let's start a new feature, Jay's Jewels of the week, perhaps. So these are some really wonderful videos that Jay has found that are wisdom jewels, and they aren't necessarily connected specifically to divine feminine and masculine, but instead this is just like wonderful ongoing wisdom from some of our favorite teachers. So this is the debut of Jay's Weekly Jewels. I love the curtain opening and closing, Jay. He just added that, and I hadn't even seen it yet. That's really awesome. By the way, the spotlight is on both you and Deborah and I, and thank you so much for these wonderful videos that you create. They're really, really fun. Thank you. All right, Deborah, what's next?
Yeah, we want to give you some more information of the God cards for men, because now the show has really highlighted this information, and the God cards are an empowerment tool and a divination tool that have 55 divine masculine archetypes. And in the previous video, we learned a bit about Richard Parisi, who is the Grateful Bear, who had this divine mission inspiration to create these cards. And he also does empowerment groups, and he does private consultations. His mission is to help the masculine evolve and come up to the next level and be side by side with the feminine. So they're just beautifully done. The artist is Davin Infinity, and they've just done a beautiful job. So, and I want to suggest, if the women are out there, that you get one of these cards for the men in your life and gift them, because they're incredible teaching tools of the exalted masculine, the archetypes that he can become, as well as the archetypes that he can let go of. So I'm going to put the link in the chat room again. Information will be in our replay email for the next couple of weeks, so you can see it there. And Scott, we have another video that shares a bit more about the God cards for men.
There it is.
This has been such a timely and auspicious program today, calling forth the gender alchemy of divine feminine and divine masculine. Together, we can transform the battle of the sexes into the blessing of the sexes, where miracles and global healing can occur. Now, we all know how conscious people are horrified by toxic masculine and toxic feminine behaviors. I've been helping people confront the toxic behaviors in themselves and others. Together, we reveal the dynamic superpowers that lay just underneath the shadow expressions. So in service to this, I wrote the bold new Oracle deck, God Cards for Men. 55 divine masculine archetypes that serve as a catalyst for conscious people to activate more innate superpowers and break themselves and others free from toxic masculine behaviors. Each card contains compelling images and transformational insights that challenge and rejuvenate the inherent superpowers of the divine masculine archetypes already within us, no matter what gender identity one declares. God Cards for Men is devoted to helping restore and embrace the conscious, trustworthy, safe, and extremely powerful masculine. I have a very special gift for my Saturday Night Alive friends. With every deck of cards purchased at my website, I'm offering you a complimentary superpower activation session. In this fascinating session, we'll look at 3 main areas: what your challenges are around any toxic masculine behaviors, what your life would be like without those challenges, and offer a few secrets to help you activate a superpower and begin living life without toxic masculine impacting it. These activations are working with many of my clients, and I promise you'll get a ton of value from our time together. We'll even get to explore whether we'd be a good fit to work with one of my private coaching or group programs. No pressure, no strings, just a great conversation with a trusted mentor who sees your magnificence, believes in you deeply, and hears and listens to your every thought, feeling, and desire. And know that you possess the superpowers that can confront toxic masculine and help restore and embrace the conscious, trustworthy, safe, and extremely powerful divine masculine. I am indeed a very grateful bear.
That's beautiful. And he is an amazing man. He came to my temple and gave sessions and did readings for the men, and they were so synchronistically appropriate for the people and very enlightening. And he's just a really wonderful, extremely heartful guy. So I suggest you get one of his cards, and like he said, he's offering a free session with them as well. So really beautiful, so appropriate for our theme tonight. And again, we'll have information in our replay email that will go out on Monday.
All right, we can move on to the next piece.
So this is part of the program where we share with you some really incredible resources. And part of what's going on in the world is that a lot of conferences and festivals have gone online. They're starting to come back a little bit, but still being able to attend these conferences online and have all the benefits of all the incredible speakers has been a real blessing at this time. So one of the events that we want to support is called Tribalize. Now, this is a gathering that's been happening physically about once a year all over the West Coast. It's a tribal gathering, it's a summit, it's a community incubator, and the intention is to activate the village consciousness within us all and fostering what's needed in terms of information, knowledge, and connections to bring community visions to life. And this is the brainchild of Brad and I, whose passion is to help create communities on all levels that we can all live in as tribe. And this would be the new way to live in our new world. So this conference is going to share top village dreamers, designers, and developers that believe a regenerative future in a world that works for all. So you'll learn about intentional communities on the large scale, or even how to start a community with a group of people to live with. As humans, we used to live in tribes for for eons and eons, and that's how the indigenous live, and that's really natural to our being. And this is what's being created now in the communities movement. So Brad is offering a 10% off promo code to all the Saturday Night Alive people. So I'm going to put the link in the chat room, and it's happening this coming weekend, next weekend, Friday, May 14th through Sunday, 16th. It's called the Tribalize Regenerative Living Summit. And if you're in Mexico and in Tulum, they have a live version. It's not going to be a large one, maybe 50 people this time, but you can join virtually all over the world. And I will post that in the chat room. And the second virtual event I would like to share with you is the event that we are creating with Kristen Hoffman and Cornflower. It's called Sonic Source Activation. And this is because on one of our shows, Kristen Hoffman and Cornflower are definitely some of our favorite musicians. And on a show, they said that they would like to do something together. So Saturday Night Alive said, we can do that. So we're creating this amazing experience together where they're going to play music that will be full embodied experience, and they're going to work together. They're also going to share how to tune in on a creative level to let source come in and channel your creativity, whether it's music or other ways. So this is a very personal connection with them, and this is going to happen Sunday, June 6th, 1 p.m. on the West Coast. And we have early bird tickets available till May 9th. And I'm going to post all that in the chat room. And again, you can get all this information on our emails if you're signed up.
And you know, we've got this little video that they created. Let's take a look at it. It's going to be a lot of fun, isn't it, Deborah?
Definitely. This is a very unique experience to have connection with them both and them working together for the first time.
And the Illuminate Film Festival?
Yeah.
I guess I'll talk about that. So one of the things that Deborah and I are really supporting is the Illuminate Film Festival. And it's going to be really wonderful. It's online. They used to do this as a in-person festival, but this year they're going online. And they've put together some really remarkable films. And so Deborah and I are really supporting it in many ways. And as most of you know, I do a show on Friday nights called Straight Talk. And more and more what I'm doing is taking some of our favorite speakers. Like last night, I had two of our people that we've had on Saturday Night Live before and went deeper with them. Well, next Friday night, I'm going to have the two people that are primarily running the Illuminate Film Festival as my guests, Danette Wolpert and Maya Monasterios. And we're going to be taking a look at trailers for some of the films that they're going to be showing, talking about the festival. So it's a great opportunity to learn more about the festival, get a taste for it. It's going to be a really wonderful little preview of the festival. So please mark down to join next Friday night for Straight Talk. And then the following weekend, actually the festival starts on the 20th and goes to the 26th. So definitely join us for that. And then also, you've been seeing Maria Stark on the show tonight. She's going to come back with her beloved Fajun and do another song. And tomorrow, it's Mother's Day. And so Maria and I are going to do a special Sacred Sunday dedicated both to our human mothers and also to the Divine Mother. There'll be music, there'll be meditation. We'll bring some of you who come into the Zoom room on, perhaps to share some of your appreciations and acknowledgements of your mothers, whether it's again Gaia, Divine Mother, or Human Mother. So join us tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time, 1 o'clock Eastern, Maria, myself, and hopefully some of you for a very special edition of Sacred Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, we are kind of winding down, but we do have a really beautiful dance video. But before that, Deborah and I, we talked a little bit in the early Zoom Room show, but we didn't get a chance to do it now. We've heard some of our speakers talk about the different forms of collaboration. And I just want to acknowledge that what you watch every week is a real collaboration of masculine and feminine. Deborah has a very highly developed feminine side. She's a dancer, but boy, she's got a real kick-ass masculine side as well. And you've probably seen enough shows where you see Scott crying or getting touched and emotional. So I've got a pretty strong feminine, but I'm also very ambitious. And it's been really wonderful collaborating and watching the interweaving of my masculine and feminine inside of me, Deborah's masculine and feminine inside of her. And together we've been mom and pop to this experience of Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe.
Yeah, it's been really beautiful, Scott. And when soul contracts come up, as you've probably witnessed in your life, you know them, you feel them, and if you embrace them and go for them, you can just mega manifest together. Scott and I have known each other in community for about 30, 35 years and respected each other, and we're friends. But when we started this, it was very much yes, and it keyed into our divine mission together and our soul contract to do this. And we have just been really supporting each other at a very high level, very high commitment, and to show up at a very high level. And if anything comes up that looks like it's out of the highest level, then we stop, we talk, we don't blame, we don't project, we just get real and say, hey, what's up? How do we smooth this out and make it go forward? It's been really, really great. And like he said, I can do great masculine and then I'm really organized. I can really plan things out. I see into the future. And I can do feminine where I just channel through inspirational ideas and let it come through me. And he does the same. So where he can like make all this technology happen and make the show happen. Yet when he gets into a creative space, he's really very talented and very beautiful. So we allow that flow between us, which allows us to create this show in such an expanded way that it does. So it's been really great.
And I recognize now we both are wearing matching pendants that were given to us by a friend. So there's that kind of cosmic connection going on.
And we've only seen each other physically twice during this whole time. So isn't that magical that we can have such a deep manifestation connection and really respect and love each other and make things happen virtually? It's been very amazing.
Every day for anywhere from 1 to 3 hours. We're in communication, connection, meetings. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So we invite you to embrace not only the romantic relationships, but all the other male-female relationships that can bring some joy and adventure and mega manifesting into your life. Because that's really what it's about now, is for us to come together and love each other, co-create together, and create a new world.
Well, another form of dancing together, masculine and feminine, is something that Deborah's going to introduce next.
Yeah, so this is an example of what happened, because I said, Scott, I kind of want to do something really creative that creatively transmits the masculine and feminine, not so much in words, but some other way. And he said, dance. And that's kind of how we work together. As I have a little question, I ask Scott, he tunes into source, and away it goes and comes through. And one of our dance resource women is Reverend Ananda Ray. She's a choreographer. And she has given us this video performed by Paris Wages and Damian Mahoney. So Scott, excuse me, can you show it? Beautiful. And again, I want to honor Ananda Ray, who is an incredible choreographer. And I asked her for the dance of the masculine and feminine. And this is something she had in her back pocket and allowed us to show. So thank you, Ananda Ray, anandaray.com.
All right. Thank you very much for finding that video. I'm remembering when Deborah and I were talking, I thought, yeah, there's all these beautiful videos of men and women in movement. And so thank you for finding that. It was beautiful. And thank you, Ananda Ray. Ananda Ray has contributed to our show several times. So we're really grateful for that. Well, we were going to have Maria Stark come back live, and Maria is not here. There she is. Hey there. Thank you. I was, always, I'm like, what? Like, where's her person? So anyway, thank you, Maria. And Fajun, tell us what you got next.
Well, this is a song that I wrote on another retreat. This time I took this retreat solo, but I was thinking about Fajun when I wrote this song, and it's a song for when our partner is sometimes like off on a soul mission, and we're trusting that they're going on their journey, and this is a song to call them home to us, like, yes, go and be on the soul mission, and then please come home. So this song is called Keep the Light On. So we're keeping the light on in our hearts for the return of love. I'll keep the light on, so you know that I was home. If you hear my voice upon the wind, know I'm singing you a song. I'll keep the light on, so you know that I was home. If you hear my voice upon the wind, know I'm singing you a song. Ooh, la la la, oh yeah. 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 Hear the humming of the trees around you. Breathing peace into the air. Is a new moon, the darkness blooming, makes the stars so much more clear. And the sky is crying out your dreams now, tumbling down in puzzle light. I'll draw any sort of creature for you, on which to take your flight. And I will keep the light on, so you know that I was home. If you hear my voice upon the wind, know I'm singing you a song. About them fireflies are spying on you. I heard them whispering your name, telling stories of your heroism and all the magic that you bring. Now they're forming you a path to follow, light and shadows one by one, bringing you back closer to me, baby, so I can hold you in my arms. And I'll keep the light on, so you know that I was home. If you hear my voice upon the wind, know I'm singing you a song. Oh, I'll keep the light
so you know that I was home. If you hear my voice upon the wind, know I'm singing you a song. Now keep the light on, so you know that I was home. If you hear my voice upon the wind, know I'm singing you a song. I'll keep the light on, so you know that I was home. If you hear my voice upon the wind, know I'm singing you a song.
Oh, you too. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. I have the good fortune. I've known them for years. We've worked together. We've done a lot of events together, and I got to see them a few weeks ago in Nevada City. I went up and visited, and we spent a little time in nature. You know, because it's the divine feminine and masculine, I have so much respect for your relationship, um, and and it's a unique one because you both have such different worlds. You know, and uh, Maria, during certain times of her life, is off touring and lots of creative expression. And Fajun has had his own church and all the responsibilities of his own church. Um, but I'd love to ask each of you to close us out with what's one secret you each want to share of staying together in love and a love that continues to grow after all these years. What's we haven't rehearsed this, so I'm putting them on the spot. But what's your tip? I go to Fajun first. Then make sure he's got the
Can you
mic.
hear me from way over here?
Maybe give him the mic.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think one of the biggest pieces of our relationship is that we practice our communication training largely through play. And so often we'll practice the techniques by complementing each other with NVC. When you said that you liked my outfit today, I felt overjoyed because I need reassurance. I request that you, and so we'll play that way, and also we'll play Jackal sometimes when it's not like crucial. So we get those energies moving, and then when they do come up, they seem to be less of a crisis because we've already played. It's like, oh, just another chance to practice. So that's been the big secret from my side, I think.
Yeah, and on that, yeah, we're playing with each other constantly. Everything that we've been learning since we've been together, started dating 11 years ago, almost 12 years ago, we've just been nerding out on relationship, and we've been playing, yeah, like having fun like little kids about it. And I'd say one of the tricks, there's just so much respect that we have for each other, and we've created a lot of deliberate time to make connection with each other and around bonding and sharing, again, like with different tools when we're really feeling good, so that it feels like anytime we have a challenge, there's just such a foundation and a bedrock of so much consistent, coherent, congruent yoga of different explorations of how to relate to moments where we're not seeing correctly, that we can that navigate those moments more gracefully. And if either of us really just like loses presence for a minute and has to just take a time out, or like go to, go, if we're having a cats in the corner moment, we've learned to not take that personally, or to we've just given us each other a lot of permission to be in our humanness without coming back and having a fight about it. We're like, oh, we're in a cats in the corner moment. Got it. Well, thank God we've described already in detail how we're going to plan for these moments and how we're going to come back and make connection. And so I think because we both have been honoring the deep respect of what each other has requested for cats in the corner moments, there's so much trust that repair happens easy, and those moments get shorter and shorter, and repair just becomes consistently more easy, so that we're even riding those moments of cats in the corner with even more connection while it's happening. It's kind of amazing how quickly we can pivot now compared to when we first started trying.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, thank you for introducing us to Cats in the Corner moments.
Yeah, totally.
A lot of people are saying, wow, nerding out and playing. Perfect. And it is beautiful. You, after 11 years, and Gay and Katie, after 40 years, said the same thing. We're very playful with each other. So that's really important to remember. Love you guys both so much. Thank you for being on.
Thank you, Scott.
And Maria and I, again, we will be on tomorrow morning. And who knows, maybe we'll be lucky and we'll get a guest appearance from June. I would love that. Whoops, I'm showing the wrong poster. We're going to be doing a very special Mother's Day event. So during my Secret Sunday show tomorrow, Maria is my guest. She's going to play a little music. We'll do some really tuning in and honoring the Divine Mother as well as our human mothers. So definitely join us tomorrow at 10 o'clock Pacific time for more Maria. And maybe we'll get a June sighting.
Thank you so much. This is June. And yeah, if you go to they're asking to purchase music. If you go to my music website, maria-stark.com, which I posted a little while ago, you can find music, or come find me on Spotify and you can add your songs to your playlist. That's another great way. Thank you all so much.
Maria-stark.com.
That's right.
So yeah, people definitely want to get her music. No, I got the Pacific. So give me the website again, Maria, and I'll put in the web. Okay, you got it? Okay, great. Let me see. There it is. Hosted. Got it. Let me do this. Copy, because I was like showing it to people. And since we're kind of in the wrapping up here. There it is. Oh God, I love that picture from Blue Sapphire. Let me show you. It's beautiful. Her latest album, by the way, Blue Sapphire, is exquisite. It's got amazing visuals. It's just a really remarkable work of art. So anyway, here it is, everybody. To get her music, to learn more about her music on that end, go to maria-stark.com. All right. Well, thank you, you two. Much love, and I'll see you in the morning.
Thank you, Scott.
All right. All right, and to wrap us up and say a few final words, here's Deborah, and then we've got one final light touch video. But here's Deborah.
Thank you to all the presenters. Thank you to the incredible musicians we had today. Thank you to our sponsor, God Cards for Men. Please check them out. Thank you to Scott, my incredible show partner, and to all the people out there that are watching this and sending us love, sending us support. And that's what it's about. It's about love. That's what this show's about. That's what it's always about. The bottom line is love. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And we're going to end with a wonderful video that Jay put together. Just a little opportunity for us to drop in to some wonderful appreciation. And so much appreciation all the way around. Thank you, Honey of the Heart. They're still with us. I guess they put their feral child to bed. Anyway, here we go with our final video of the night. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And remember to please share this out, share our show out to the world. That's where we meet more friends. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful evening. And